So good morning, afternoon / evening, depending on which of the players you are in this game. This is session 3 of 4 for Urban Shadows with a Dresdenfiles skin. We've done 2 sessions so far, and the digging keeps on going. So we've got some mechanical setup that we're going to do in a second, but just basically our group has opted to pursue a particular lead. There is a blizzard kind of rolling into Denver, a thunderstorm / blizzard, and our group is heading together across town to a downscale YMCA, and they are heading there to hopefully come face to face with something. They suspect that at least one high-ranking White Court vampire is there with one of the Denarian's coins, and the Denari may be there as well, and there may be backup. It's uncertain. So we will see what rolls out of that. So Nathanda, I believe as our oracle that you have a start of session move. Is that correct?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Let's see. Could you share out that roll for your party room?
Yeah, let me grab that link copy.
Can I just clarify? Didn't we end last session with we called Gabrielle and then he passed the message on to someone else?
You called Gabrielle, and just to inform him, and I believe the hope was that Gabrielle would pass that on and call for assistance. Yeah. Not entirely certain what's going on with that, but yes, that particular Fae is in the mix. So I have dropped the roll for your party link in the chat there. Does anyone else have starter session moves? They're fairly rare here, but good. So
yeah, I have one regarding people in my web.
Excellent. Let's do Oracle, and then we'll come to you. Oh yeah, because you get to ask questions.
Yep. So I got an 11.
Look at that. So that is the full. Is that 3 hold for you? 2 hold. Okay. Excellent. So that is appropriate that you've had visions of doom, given what's happening. So yeah, you have that ready and at hand.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's as we're taking that suburban Uber on our way over. I'm flipping my tarot cards, going, "Oh, not good, not good."
Yeah. Absolutely. And again, with foretellings, you can just say, "I think I see something." And that activates, you spend the hold. So Dr. Karen, if we look at your web move here, choose someone in your web and learn a secret about them they'd rather keep buried. Who is that you want to know about?
Yeah. Given kind of the skin to this vamp that I have, can I make it more specific that I need to? I can find out what they're truly afraid of.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a framing of that thing. I'd be fine with that.
Yeah. And I think that YOLO just visited my haven for the first time. I want to know what YOLO is truly afraid of.
YOLO. Does that seem like a fair thing here, given the vampire's web?
Yeah, works for me. Easy question, easy answer. Denarian.
Like this truly scares you to the core?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to work out as we're driving exactly why did this seem a good idea 20 minutes ago? Because the closer we get to that YMCA, the less like a good idea this seemed. And I'm also nervous that we've got the White Court involved in this now. So no, I am genuinely concerned about the loss of whatever soul I have left.
I think Karen was not as anxious before as she is now, realizing how YOLO is still going into that lion's den, what he truly is afraid of, because that's a pretty bold act of courage. And nothing messes with a Malvoran vampire like someone truly expressing courage.
Excellent. Excellent.
If only it felt like that on the inside.
Right.
It's not courage if it isn't scary.
Kevin, I do have a question. Is All-Seeing a regular move or a corruption move?
It's a regular move.
Okay.
But so I can basically just trigger it whenever I want by taking a corruption, and I can see something about the situation.
Excellent. So this Uber, the driver is a little nervous as the snow and the kind of sleet and thunderstorms are clearly coming in. You're getting that sort of spray of frozen rain right now that's coming down, and the driver will pull in after a bumpy ride. You're in a part of town where the street department has not yet really come here to fix the potholes. There's those strips of that area that had just been torn up, frozen, and peeled off. And the parking lot actually looks like kind of like a bomb site in some ways. like that top layer got put on badly, and it has come away. It is pockmarked, and it's cold and sleeting, and this Uber will drop you in the parking lot of this place. And so what do you do? Whose idea was it to come here? So okay. So let's start with you, Dr. Karen. As you get out of this vehicle and into the cold, and the cold doesn't really bother you, right?
No.
Okay.
I mean, if I'm malnourished, I feel more mortal. But I just fed off of Burl not too long ago, so I'm feeling.
Yeah, and I think you've got plenty of fear cakes on the table for you right now. So what do you want to do? What waiting for the others, looking around? What do you think is to sit here for you?
I turn to Yola specifically and say, "Well, that's where my plan ended." But I didn't bring the sword on my back. I brought it in a athletic bag.
Okay.
And I dropped that on the ground, unzip it, take it out, and
Yeah, I think there's a moment when you start to pull that out that the Uber driver like hits the gas and peels out as the last of you gets out.
Nathanda, if you don't mind, tip him well. The weather's atrocious.
Done. This plan, I'm not so enamored of it, Dr. M.
I feel like a quick action was called for. We just don't want that coin to get wherever they want it to get. But I think, we're going to want to try to play this carefully, and hopefully we haven't been spotted already. If there's any kind of, I'm trying to recall in Urban Shadows, if there is even kind of like a Rita Sitch sort of move, and I feel like there is.
There is investigate a place of power is how I've always used it. If you're investigating sort of a general scene, you can do that. Does that seem to rise to that level for you?
Yeah, I think that we don't really know what's going on yet.
Okay.
And we want to be able to, as carefully as possible, get a sense of what's happening.
Sure.
Why don't we plan our next steps well?
why don't you roll with Knight? Let's see how that plays out, and then we'll move on to the other characters.
Okay.
And
That
it's Mark
doesn't
Knight.
look great. Hold on. So I think I have a
0.
yeah. Okay, so it's time for some fun stuff to happen.
So what was the roll?
It was a 5.
Okay. You're kind of looking around, trying to keep an eye on things, and you have that feeling deep down in your core that you've been seen. You're not sure by what or by who, but there's that feeling that sort of, you have some slight supernatural senses to you, and that certainly washes over you. Nathanda, what are you up to?
So I sidle up to Narelle and like kind of, so you're locked and loaded and fully prepped here? Because I don't know, you seem like our main weapon. I'll try to help guide you, but
Well, I can go invisible and have a quick look and come back out if you like. Give us some more options.
I think that's a lovely idea.
You know that thing in the slasher movies when they say never split up? I can't help feeling this is one of those situations. I'm just wondering whether I could just try to reach out through, the water to see if I can see what's about. I just don't
All right,
like the idea of somebody wandering off.
Well, you can come with me, and then we'll
Well,
come back and let them know.
The nice thing is I could do that from here.
Okay, we'll do that first, and then we'll back up plan as I'll go invisible and have a look.
Because what I'd like to do is to let out my supernatural power
As
and
perfect.
extend my senses.
Yeah, absolutely.
Through the snow and ice and water. So that is with spirit.
Yeah.
So roll +2. That is 12, and I'll mark 2 corruptions, which will give me another corruption move.
Yes. So, is it that your senses kind of pass through the water, or do you imagine that there's a change? How does that look to us?
I think I kind of kneel down in the car park and put my hands into the icy water and snow and reach out, and my perceptions will spread out in the direction of the building, and give me a view as though looking up at anyone I can see. So I suppose I'm trying to work out who's observing us, who might be standing on that surface, or might be seen from that surface.
So I think a 12 is a very good roll. So I'm going to be very broad in my information here to you. You can tell that there are a couple of very striking, beautiful people in there that have the feel of the white court to you. The thing that strikes you is how alike they look. Like that they're maybe twins, a man and a woman, and they are kind of at the edges. Clearly, their senses extended out, and you'll the water, you'll kind of roll along here because it is dripping from the ceiling in here, and you can catch that, and you will see there is a very uncomfortable looking person who matches the description of Wilhelm that you've been given. And he is kind of standing and waiting. And there is a guy sitting in a folding chair, old, sort of just about to fall apart kind of folding chair that you'll recognize as Denarian, who seems to be waiting.
Well, I'll share that with the group. So they're all in there. Now, what exactly is the objective here? Get the coin at any cost? Kill Wilhelm? What's going on now? Because I know where they are.
The Denarian is the real threat here, as I'm sure all of us are aware. I don't want them to. As I see it, and I'm willing to defer to anyone else. Plan is to secure the coin safely. We don't want that to be technically in any of our possessions, and get out.
Dr. M, I hate to say this, but that's actually an objective, not a plan. Do you have a plan we can use to get the coin? Well, shit. I don't want to throw down with a vampire and a Denarian. I got these, not a lot else.
Okay, well, two things. We need a place where we're going to go to. If one of us grabs a coin and goes somewhere, we need to figure out where that's going to be, and we also need someone to be interference. So someone's got the coin, someone else chases them. We need someone else to get the person chasing them. Who's got ideas for who's doing what? Who's fast? Who's fast is going to get the coin.
I'm shivering. I look at.
We're all looking over our
Narelle.
stats.
I'm
We're
like,
there's not a fast.
I look at
Narelle.
Narelle. I'm like, can't you do that little thing where you jump through time and space or something? I mean, I can run. I mean, I jog. But...
Okay, so I'm getting the coin. Okay, who's running interference, to use your American parlance?
Well, I certainly don't feel comfortable getting up close and personal to these people. So I'm very happy to kind of run interference, as you describe it.
And I can offer to at least attempt to be our point of entry. I know these people. We're not friends, but I know these people. I might be able to cause enough of an initial distraction.
So, come at this a different way then. Could we convince Wilhelm not to hand it over?
We're a bit past that, aren't we?
I don't know. I mean, Dr. Karen saying she can get us in. That sounded like they won't stop us getting in because I know them.
Well, I'm not saying they'll let us leave. I'm just saying they'll let us in.
So you're saying just make it a three-way discussion? Try negotiation first.
There are different ways to skin the pig, aren't there?
It needs to be
in there.
We just need to make it in Wilhelm and the rest of his family's best interest to not hand the coin over to the Denarians.
How about you three go into chat, and I'll go in as well, but I'll be invisible.
Never a bad idea, somebody being invisible.
And I think Nathanda's going to pull out, excuse me, her tarot deck. And she has a quick open knife, and she just slices her thumb and rubs the blood along the deck, and then just pulls a card out. And I'm using the all seeing. And so I'll mark a harm.
What is it that you want to know?
what Nathanda's looking for is what do we have to trade to be able to get the coin or stop them, Wilhelm, from turning the coin over to the denarian. Oh, I got to mark corruption too.
Narelle hands Nathander a band-aid and it's got Dora the Explorer on it.
The coin is secondary to what is going on here.
What?
The coin is a lure right now.
Oh my God.
Yeah, then you see Nathanda's eyes have like glazed over, and she comes out and she's like, the coin's just the MacGuffin.
I turn to Dr. Karen. I say, "Is this you? Have you got us here under false pretenses?"
I think that Karen's been manipulated and we're all here under false pretenses.
That's it.
Well, then let's call a cab now.
Narelle, what are you up to?
I'm turning invisible.
Okay. Absolutely.
See, Narelle's gone already.
Well, maybe. 5, I think it's plus spirit, so 7.
Oh yeah, it's no problem for you to turn invisible. That's not
Okay.
even a roll. Yeah.
All right.
But what do you want to do with that invisibility?
I'll just say back in a second, and I'll just sneak in there.
Okay. So is your goal to like check out the area? Are you trying to read someone? What is your intent here?
I'm just trying to see if they're sort of chatting or they're waiting for like a third party to rock up or what.
Okay, that does sound like maybe figure someone out.
Okay.
Does that seem fair?
Yep.
Okay. Then let's have you roll with mind.
All right. Do you want me to roll again?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Oh, sweet. Mind, you said 13.
Look at that.
Sweet.
If you had that advance to be all over that, but you got 2 hold.
Okay. Smooths. Figure someone out. What does your character worry might happen? So that's what does Narelle worry might happen?
Well, you're asking about them, so it would be either the one of the White Court vampires or
Okay.
the Denarian.
Yeah, what is Wilhelm worried about?
Wilhelm is worried that he will not be able to get out of here before the Denarian realizes that you guys, meaning Narelle, Nathanda, and stuff,
Yep.
don't actually have the object that the Denarian is looking for.
So yeah, this kind of confirms that it's not about the coin thing. Okay, and another one is what's your character? So what's the? No, that's kind of already answered. How could I put Wilhelm in my debt?
Oh, I think kill the Denarian, get him out of his hair.
Yeah, piece of cake. Yeah, I'm going to charge up a fireball. I'll take my time.
Okay, so you are kind of watching. Do you fall back to pass that info, or how do we see that?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm just going to get a sight.
All right. So Narelle vanishes. She's gone. YOLO. Now what?
I'm phoning for a cab.
Okay.
This is a complete cock-up. This is, a badly designed plan executed by idiots.
Here's the thing. It's a blizzard that's already started. It was, as I mentioned before, when you're coming over, when you're starting this out, that there weren't that many cars on the road last time. You will call and, they'll say, we've got about a 45-minute wait on cabs. What location are you at? You tell them, and they're like, we've got about an hour and a half wait for that area of town right now. There's some surge pricing going on, but we're still, the little bit of overflow on this.
God, America, the land of service.
And what about you, Dr. Karen?
Okay, I'm going to toss something out there that Nathanda can absolutely X-card out because it's kind of deprotagonizing. I wanted to, in preparation for what's going to happen, feed on Nathanda to get her to run to safety. Like basically spark the fear that's already going on for her so that she gets out of the area. And in the meantime, get myself a +1 forward if I can. Does that work for you, or would you rather not?
No, that works for me. So what does that look like or feel like for Nathanda when you do that? How do you invoke that for me so I can figure out how she's going to react?
Yeah, so what I do, I put a hand on your shoulder and make direct eye contact with you. I say, Nathanda, let's face it, you're not cut out for this. This could go very badly, very quickly, and you have every right to be nervous.
So let's have you roll your eternal hunger, and then I think Nathanda will have you keep your cool.
Oh, that's not great. That's a 4 on the die with a +1 is a 5. Yeah. I mean, I take it that we're doing something besides I overdo it and she dies. But I'm
No, it's not that actually.
Yeah.
I think it's that you've maybe you fed a little bit on Nathanda before, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think you've done that when Nathanda is strongly in the throes of her visions.
And to top it off, I had a 12 plus. That's physical contact.
Yeah.
Which means I can read surface thoughts.
Yeah. So I'm going to let you do it in a second. But the thing is that you get all of those horrors briefly that Nathanda feels. But for you, fear is a tangible physical thing in some ways. And so you're going to mark to harm as it just, you like, there's something wrong. Whatever depths, whatever deep water she draws on is outside your ken. Like, you're not sure where she's getting these visions from, but they're not right. And kind of pull back. Nathanda, you got your surface thoughts? So you get to ask questions. You are muted.
Yep, I was just rolling for that because I got a 12 for keep your cool. So that's a 10 for reading the surface thoughts. So...
You get to ask 3 of those questions.
Excellent. Finally, I get to ask the questions, Dr. M. Well, I think the first thing is, who are you protecting? Because I think that's, from a story perspective, interesting. And then what is your character thinking about right now? Because I think that's got to be sitting up at the very top of your mind. And
Let's resolve those before you pick the last one.
Okay.
Let's get those answers first.
And I think on a surface level, Dr. M is protecting herself. Like she kind of it traces everything back to like some degree of self-preservation, especially as a member of Night. They're predators, and things resolve back to instinct. But at a deeper level, she does have a genuine concern for the city as a whole, but in particular for her true love, which I'm trying to remember what we named her. Miranda, was it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So she's been, especially anxious this whole day because she doesn't know where Miranda is. Hasn't been able to get a clear answer on that. Suspects that Yolo said that she's safe, but we've been getting into the thick of things, and she would not be surprised if she's in that Y right now, or if I think it's pretty well known amongst the White Court that she has this true love. That's going to be leveraged against her. She needs to kind of stake out a strong position quickly and establish herself. So that's one. What was the second question?
Who are you protecting?
That was the answer to protecting.
Oh, and also is what is your character thinking about right now?
Okay. Yeah, what I'm thinking about is bailing on this. We came in without a plan. It's clearly a more dangerous situation than initially anticipated. Karen's instinct when things start to get a little over her head is to run, as we saw in our very first moment with her. And yeah, she's very strongly debating, at what point she says, okay, this is enough, I'm getting out.
And I think that between is Miranda okay and we're screwed, what's your character's hidden pain?
My hidden pain?
Yes.
Yeah. I think my hidden pain is guilt. Just kind of going back to when I first turned, not being able to be there for the people that depend on me.
So let's look. I want to know what Yolo and then Norel are doing. Kind of get the sense of what is happening there. As Yolo, you kind of look and you see there's an exchange between them that you can feel the powers, the magics around them when that happens.
Okay. So look, you two. Are we in or are we out? If we're out, it's a long walk home. If we're in, then I still think we can have a conversation in there.
Do Do you think they'd honor a request to parley?
I think we could invoke the Accords in some way, couldn't we?
I'm trying to, and we don't have to go with canon if it's not convenient, but if the Denarians uphold the Accords, because I felt like they had abandoned them, but maybe that was a different group.
I think they have, but I'm thinking of the Scalis.
Yeah, Wilhelm.
They definitely still uphold them. You're on mute.
There's a plan then. We knock on the front door and ask politely to talk to Wilhelm.
Nathaniel's like, yes.
Narelle.
Now, it's not a thunderstorm, is it? It's just a blizzard.
It's snow. You can hear the thunder off in the distance. It's kind of rolling in with the snow and sleet right now.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'm going to do like a lightning strike fireball at the roof, so it'll come in where they're standing and disrupt things. And it can look like natural phenomenon.
Okay. So that sounds like you're trying to mislead, distract, or trick.
Oh, yeah. All right.
So, and essentially the fiction is you're using your elementalism to do that. So let's have you roll with mine. Actually, before we do any further, you should probably roll your channels.
Oh, yeah.
We'll know how much magic or how little magic you have at hand.
Now that's blood, isn't it? Or no, that's
here.
Those channels.
Wizard moves. Channeling. Roll with spirit.
Oh, excellent. Much better. Okay. 5.
5. Okay. On a miss, you hold 1.
Yep.
But you can't channel again this scene.
All right. So can we say I do the lightning strike thing, but I turn visible when that happens, or?
Yeah, I like that. Let's see. So you really want to make this mislead, distract, or trick so they don't see you when you come visible there. So let's have you roll.
Hopefully stuff's going to be falling on them.
Yeah.
Is it still counted as unleash?
No, I think this is mislead, distract, or trick.
Okay.
I think you are creating an effect. So we resolve it that way.
11.
Okay, so you get to pick 3 from that mislead, distract, or trick list.
Well, it's got you create an opportunity, so I'm thinking that's actually for Wilhelm. He sees, the lightning hit the roof, whatever starts going. So he gets up, he can get up out of the chair and leave or whatever.
Okay.
If he doesn't take it well, that's too bad. Expose a weakness or flaw. Maybe one of them doesn't like lightning or fire or something.
Okay.
And confuse them. So, they're all looking up and stuff's falling and I'll haul ass out the front door.
So now hauling us at the front door would be avoid further entanglement as an option.
Yep.
Otherwise, so you need to pick the 3. So which one are you leaving off that list?
I'll leave off confuse them for some time.
Okay. So you 3 are like, okay, well, we'll go talk to them. This is how we'll do this. Blah, 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 blah. Whoosh, you'll see that strike come. And I don't know how many of you have been close to a lightning strike, but there's that air feeling, and it's a sudden shock, and the thunder boom hits almost instantaneously there. And you'll see like probably some blow up of the section of the roof there. And then you see Narelle running out the door back towards where you're at.
Does it run to earth through all the water?
You probably do get a little bit of that static frisson as it comes across. Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Go ahead.
So I have a thought, and we can come back to it or reapproach it. But I did just gain a corruption move from the attempt to feed on Nathanda. And Lowell, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm the last person who physically touched the coin, right?
That is very correct.
Okay. So that means that, as far as anyone that the denarian in that coin has direct influence over, it would be me.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So I could take a tainted corruption move for taking the take a corruption move from another archetype.
Yeah.
Okay. Just because this isn't enough fun already, I was thinking of taking from hell, which is mark corruption, to have your patron send a gang of demons to work on your behalf for a scene. And what that, you can absolutely.
I want to know what that would look like.
Yeah.
In terms of this, because it is you doing this. So I'm.
Yeah, I'm like to me, describing it that way, it's the coin wants to be back in my possession. But if that's not the case, then I'd say let's not do that.
Yeah, I don't think that's necessarily going to, as it's written there. I'm not sure it really fits with the fiction. Do you want to? Can we modify that somehow, or do you want to take a different one?
Could it be like cold wraiths, like blizzard demons? Evil spirits in the mist or something. They're around with a blizzard anyway.
What do you?
Or because the coin, as far as we're aware, is currently in Wilhelm's possession. He hasn't touched it. But is there some way that the coin could influence him to give it back to you, if that's the objective, to have it returned to you?
Well, I think one of the questions, and this one I think only Lowell can really answer, is does it want to be back in my possession, or does it want to hot potato?
It always wants to hot potato. It wants to get to new people all the time.
It's like the ring.
So
and as you're discussing the coin, I'm like, again, MacGuffin. I think we need to find what triggered Rory's power. I think that's what everyone's hunting for. But you do you.
So what do you think, Doctor?
Yeah.
Do you want to hold off thinking about?
Yeah,
exactly
I'm gonna hold off on deciding what the corruption move is. I think it will be a tainted move, but
then
when fiction establishes that it would activate, that's when I'll pick which one it is.
Narelle comes running. Do the rest of you run, or do you stay in place?
I run towards the Y.
Okay, so you're passing Narelle, heading towards the Y. What are you doing, Nathanda?
So we had that bolt of lightning, peal of thunder. Narelle comes booking out. Yolo starts running in. I'm like, in for Penny. Chase after Yolo, because we were just talking about parlaying.
Yeah.
And I want to be there to try to read the situation.
Yeah, I believe the phrase would be in for a piece of silver.
Oh, yes.
But same difference. So Narelle, you come running out, and you will see Nathanda and Iolo kind of go running in, like maybe they think you've set something up. You're not sure. Do you keep going, or are you going to?
Yeah, I'll say time to hide, darlings, and I just find something to hide behind, like a snowbank or whatever.
Okay.
And I'll cover myself with snow a bit.
Doctor, you've had this weird moment, this blowback from the visions. You've got the coin squarely in your mind. Part of it is that you would love the coin to want to come to you. And maybe it's an unhappy realization that the coin would rather be with other people.
Well, I mean, it's a coin. It's an inanimate object. It's not for it to decide. That's
Right.
not fair.
So what do you want to do?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm heading right in there with YOLO and Nathanda.
Okay. YOLO, you'll hit those doors. You will see that there is rubble and broken roof and so on. You see that Wilhelm is getting one of these twins out of some of the rubble, who seems like maybe they took the worst of it. And maybe it triggered something in them that they, because they look a little more feral than you've seen some of the other vampires. And you'll see that Denarian.
I want to run up to William and help him.
Okay.
Save the other one.
All right. Let's have you roll keep your cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm such a cool guy. So this is spirit, isn't it?
Actually, you know what? Here, let me tell you what I think it is. Actually, I think that would be an action. I think your intent is to make nice with Wilhelm, right?
It is.
So let's have you roll persuade an NPC.
Okay, so that's heart. So roll +2. Hang on.
I kind of feel like he should get some sort of bonus because as a sort of comedian and entertainer, he's sort of a natural at bluffing people or getting them on side in that. But
yeah, I think it's as much as anything that he can capitalize on your opportunity, whereas most people would not be able to.
Yeah, I mean, I see this as fictional positioning. Who could turn down help from a large Welshman? So that's 7, 8, 9.
9.
Now I'm wondering whether I cash in a debt with Nathanda, if I'm understanding the mechanics right, to get her to help me.
Yeah, you could get her to lend a hand.
That's what I'd like to do.
Okay, so putting you potentially in harm's way as well, Nathanda. Are you cool with?
Yep.
With
Nathanda just comes up right alongside and helps get the other twin up.
Sure. Then let's have you roll with Wild to help.
Let's see, 9. And Wild, do you mean
Their faction, yeah.
Oh, with Wild faction. Okay. Do I have that? +2. 11.
So yeah, you go and help and boost that up. And because you cashed in a debt, that you get to mark Wild if you haven't already. And do you want do you think it's power or mortal that YOLO marks?
I'll take mortal.
Okay, so you get to mark mortality then. And yeah, you kind of grab it and
YOLO says, "Come on, out the back." And I'm assuming that Wilhelm will take him under one arm and I'll take him under the other one.
And you'll hear, hey, look, we got off on the wrong foot, YOLO. Why don't you give me a minute to let us resolve our differences?
I'm very happy to have a conversation, but outside, once this person has been got to safety.
So you're kind of grabbing and helping them out, and Wilhelm is certainly taking the opportunity to get himself a little more space from the Denarian. Denarian is kind of waiting and watching all of this going on, ready to leap as is needed. And so the two of you are getting them up and out. Doctor?
So like the direction I'm headed in, yeah, I just get mixed up on if the denarian, if the coin would ask me to be doing this. Like I think that Dr. M is tempted by its power, but if it doesn't, if it's
Does
not
Doctor? Here's the question: does Dr. M think that it's asking for that?
oh, I think that she absolutely does.
Then Dr. M absolutely believes that.
Yeah. So she, as confident as she's able to, approaches Wilhelm and says, who it sounds like is a little off his game.
So you're running to follow them as they're being pulled, up and out.
Well, no, I thought that he had distanced himself. He was trying to.
They are in the process of getting out. They're helping the twins up. Wilhelm's with them. There's kind of a scrum of 5 people kind of moving to get out the door right now.
Yeah, and I think I call out his name, not all that loudly, just with enough presence that I think it stops him for a moment. I say, Wilhelm, you're leaving so quickly. I believe you have something of mine.
And what is your intent here?
My intent is to persuade him to leave the coin before he heads out.
All right.
Does YOLO hear that? If Wilhelm can hear it, presumably YOLO can.
Yes.
Then it is possible that a coin is about to drop on the ground just behind this scrum of 5 people, because I'm going to use glamour to create an illusion to fool the senses.
Okay. Let's start with the persuade an NPC.
Okay. And I don't think I have any debts that I hold on him, so I can't cash in anything. Been rolling like gangbusters today, so let's see how this goes. Oh, hey, there we go. So I have an 8 on the die, and that's with blood. So I have a +1.
With heart for persuade.
Oh, with heart. Yeah, still +1.
Still +1. And so what does that take you to?
It takes me to a 9. Anywhere that I can get a +1 forward? I don't think so, though. So they do what you ask, but they can modify the terms and demand a debt. Or demand a debt.
I think then he's going to modify the terms. He's going to say the denarian has it.
And yeah, I just say with all kinds of venom in my voice, just get out and let him go.
If Nathanda and Iola want to get Wilhelm and company out, you can do that. Does that seem fair?
That's entirely my intent.
Okay. Which leaves us with Narelle in relative safety and the Denarian facing Nathanda. Not Nathanda, Dr. Karen. Doctor.
Oh gosh, I'm trying to remember. Shoot, what was this Denarian name?
Charybdis.
Charybdis. Was I an unworthy guardian?
I will gladly lend you the coin so that you can enjoy it for a while.
And yeah, I think that it's logical for me to be a little bit suspicious. Can this be a hit the streets to try to figure out what is?
This
or,
is figure
someone out.
Yeah. Let's have you roll with mind.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a 4.
So I think Charybdis is up on you. Like, even as you're like, I'm going to try and he's got your hand and he puts the coin in your hand onto your skin gently, and it feels so good. And I'd like you to mark corruption.
Okay. What is the nature of this particular demon coin? Like, how does it get along with the rest of its faction?
It's the sister coin to Charybdis's coin.
So, well,
this is Scylla, the sister coin to Charybdis's coin. And it really loves you.
Aww.
And Charybdis says, I need your help.
I don't think I have the capacity to resist.
I'm going to cut to Narelle.
Yes.
Outside, you see the side doors come open, and Iolo and Athanda have those White Court vampires. And see, the White Court vampires are like making for a very nice, 2019 van that is parked out in the parking lot. What do you want to do, Narelle?
Well, if I can do elementalism and stay hidden, then lightning's just going to conveniently strike that car. But if I can't stay hidden, then I'm not going to do that.
The thing is, you've already burnt your channels.
Oh, yeah. Well, in that case, anything overt I do will stuff up whatever they're trying to do negotiation-wise. So I'll just sit quiet and watch.
Okay. You're like, okay, where is Dr. Karen? Because you certainly don't see her. She went in the building and she has not come out. And Wilhelm is getting to the van. He actually looks relieved that like Dr. Karen's gonna eat up whatever attention Charybdis has. So he's like, why don't you get in the car? We'll drive you wherever you need to go. Let's go. And
he's saying that to me.
No, he's saying that to Iolo and the
family. Okay, right.
Yeah.
I think that we might be prepared to take him up on that offer. Just, is Narelle currently invisible?
She's not invisible, no. But she's probably hidden away where you saw her go and hide when she ran out.
So if we take the lift, it's just the two of us taking the lift. That's the implication of the fiction. Yeah. Then I have to say, I think that's probably not a bad offer, Nathanda.
Now, I agree. Just one thing, Wilhelm, this is under flag of truce, as it were. We helped you out. You help us out now.
Get in the car. Yes.
I climb in.
Yeah.
And you can see that part of the reason that he seems, besides the whole Denarian thing, is that one of the twins is having a real issue, like having a real issue holding it together, and the other one is kind of trying to keep them steady here.
That it's time to lay on hands, isn't it? Nature's caress.
Oh, okay. And what does that look like?
I think probably there's that. There's the laying on of hands, and then that slight rosy glow comes through the hands where I touched the vampire, and it's just holding them physically together without feeding them.
And yeah, and you'll feel that wave, like that hunger for despair off of this vampire. And you also get that echo of something you felt off of Dr. Karen. Like this vampire has clearly touched the coin at some point. And that's part of the problem. It's probably the issue that it's having right now. And you will kind of hold that in place even as the car is peeling out.
And I think that probably I think we just store that one.
Okay.
And I'm just thinking of debts mounting up.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Narelle, you'll hear
So,
beep beep.
okay.
You'll see this one of those little tiny, like 2-seater electro eco cars there. And you'll see this handsome guy behind the wheel. Waves at you.
Calmly get up and wander over there.
And you can see Gabriel is there. He's tall, so he's kind of tucked into this vehicle here. And he gestures for you to get in.
Darling, your timing is perfect, and I'll hop in.
No, my timing is impeccable. You are a little wet, but this isn't my car, so we're all good.
No one else in it? It's just us two?
Just the two of you.
Okay. I'll tell him what I just did.
Okay, and he's beginning to peel off, even as the car is kind of. He's heading away right now. We'll come back to those two cars going in different directions. Dr. Karen.
Oh,
yes.
I just before we leave the vamps and the van, is it possible? This may be pushing my luck. Given that I've got this sense from the vamp that he's touched the coin, can I investigate a place of power in order to try to determine the coin's motive?
Oh, that's a really that seems like a reasonable way to do that for that particular situation.
So are they power? Is the coin power?
The coin is wild because tainted are under the wild.
Okay, well that's not very good, but never mind. So roll 2d plus nothing.
The good news is you get to mark wild if you haven't already.
Yeah, I will, but that's a 5. So so all I'm going to learn is crap.
So I think that as you touch the coin reaches into your mind. And you'll realize that you kind of knew something, and you'll briefly get this glimpse of an object like that you knew was important and you knew was here, but you or your lord concealed it, like hid it away in your mind so it couldn't be read, of this cauldron that somehow got brought here that you need to find and need to protect. And the coin reads that.
So it knows what I know,
Yes,
but
it
happily
knows,
now I also know what I know.
Yeah, it knows that you know something about it. Herb just says, Dr. Karen, we don't have to be at odds at all, do we?
I think that likely my purposes are not all that much different than your purposes, or at least they can help support each other. Should I tell you what I'm looking for, or do you want to tell me what you're looking for?
Oh, I don't really care what you're looking for. But I'll tell you what I'm looking for. There is an object that your patient, is that the word I want to use? That young woman, Rory, the one in full bloom, all of her life ahead of her.
I had a feeling she might be important.
Yes, yes. There is an object that she touched that I'm trying to find. It is a cauldron. It has a different form now, as I understand it, but I can't see it, and it is hidden from me. Why don't you help me find that, and you can keep the coin?
Let me be clear. Amongst our people, we like to establish ground rules of what is owed for what is paid. I have purposes. I have intent with you that I would appreciate your partnership in. My people are under great threat here, largely by those that seem to be threatening you as well, Wilhelm and the rest of his vampires. I'll find your object, and together we'll find a way to make my people feel safe.
I'm not really in the feeling safe business, but I'm certain that we can work that out.
And yeah, narratively, there's a thing that I want to do, but I don't want to have to mark corruption for it. So if that's the cost, I would just walk. Narratively, I would love to use the part of assuming demon form to fly out of here. I don't have the devil inside move, but I was going to take the just below the surface corruption move. The issue of that is that costs corruption to use.
You know what? It's a beautiful fictional thing. So I will say that we can do it because it is a nice visible manifestation of how far you have fallen.
Nice. Thank you.
And we see you fly off into the night. Hey, this seems like a good place for us to take a little 5-minute break, and then we'll come back and see where everybody's at.
I need more than 5.
Yeah, let's take 10, and then we'll come back.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Oh, and I'm going to make a completely self-serving case that my scene with Scylla could constitute a hit the streets with Wild. But that is absolutely me being like, can I get some XP? So feel free to be like, actually have something happen.
I think you are doing an exchange with you are striking a bargain with Charybdis the Denarian, a corrupter of souls. So yeah, I think that's fair to mark Wild.
Okay. And I will take the advance move from another archetype.
Oh, delicious.
Oh my god. Oh my god, yeah.
Some good ones.
Oh.
So Blake, you'll appreciate we had a very Australian internet moment the other day. We were recording with Haley and V for the podcast, and we were like halfway through, and their internet just went gone. They kept recording, but it was like 10, 12 minutes before they could get it to go, and they said that was fairly common where they were at.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's not too good.
We used to have them, so.
Yeah, before the last session, I was internet went down for like 15 minutes, and I'm like, no, not now. It's been up all day, and it came out like 3 minutes before you sent the invite, and I'm like, oh.
All right, Vince, what are you gonna take?
So I'm gonna take Invocation. You may cash in a debt with someone to appear in their presence. Others may cash in a debt with you to have you appear as well.
Which playbook is that from?
That's from Tainted.
Okay, that's right. Yeah.
I love having fictionally justified versions or reasons for take a move from another playbook, because usually that's like, it's such a weird advance. And I have a lot of debts.
It's all good. Everything's going to be fine. So let's start with Norel. He says, where can I take you? Where can I drop you?
Well, actually, I'm trying to think what to go from here. They looked like they went in and just rescued a bunch of vampires and a Denarian, so I'm not too sure what's going on.
Well, normally I would say you could come back to my place, but I've been couch surfing for a while and don't really have a spot to go back to.
Oh, you're welcome to come back to my place.
Oh, okay. That sounds cool.
And then she realizes what she said and blushes a bit and just gives directions.
She says, do you know how to get a hold of your pals?
I could call Nathander.
Maybe she'd let me dial, though, right?
He's driving, so yep.
Yeah, we'll get to your place and then we'll give him a call.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And it is a messy drive through a icy streets and blizzard and so on. He seems to have no problem. Like the storm is not an issue for him.
Yeah.
And he probably does that thing where he probably takes some of the turns by using the ice on the road.
Drifting.
To Tokyo drift through the corners and so on before he gets to your place there.
On the way, I'll say, have you run across Denarians before? Or?
There was this one here in Denver some time back, and things did not go well.
For everybody, or for you, or?
For everybody. Says there used to be a lot more Fae in Denver.
So, like me, you'd be happy to see him get out of town?
I'd be happy to see that.
Might be harder to make it happen.
Here's the thing is, I called some people to try and get some help.
Yeah.
And people were not interested.
A familiar position to my own. But I think we'll be able to think of something.
It's disappointing because I'm used to asking for things and getting them.
I sense you have potential, like myself, and we'll figure something out.
Oh, I appreciate that. And let's cut to Wilhelm, who is white knuckle driving this van, despite being, a white court vampire, having heightened reflexes and so on. This is still an unpleasant drive for him, and he will say, "Where should I take you? I don't know your name."
How do you do? My name is Yolo. Very nice to meet you. And I just want to know, Wilhelm, what the fuck is going on?
And I'd like to foresee something horrible happening right now so that Yolo and I get +1 forward in this scene.
So let me have him give you like what he's going to tell you, and then let you figure someone out. Does that seem like a fair way to do it? He says, "So my predecessor worked with Charybdis the last time Charybdis was here in Denver. My predecessor left behind some obligations that I have been working to clear. And that has created issues. So let's have you roll that figure someone out. And this is as much as anything you cajoling him into telling you more."
So that is plus mind, isn't it? Which I think is
Yes.
+1.
With a +1 ongoing.
Yeah, so +2 all told. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus God. 3, 4, 5. What is going on?
And let's see. He's knight, so he's not in your faction.
No. So I look at him after that and I say, "So as I say, Willow, what the fuck is going on?"
And he's talking to you, and he's looking at you and chatting. And Narelle, you're kind of looking out, and that snow and stuff, and you will see this figure standing in the road.
And I reach up and grab the side of his heel. I'm like, "Holy shit, well, look out!"
And this van hits, and that figure stands there, and the van's going like 35, 40 miles an hour, and it runs into and hits and then careens, spins off that slide where you're like, what? And then there's that boom as the side of the van impacts into a utility pole, and glass is everywhere, and you can see the Denarian getting up off the ground. What do you do, Nathanda?
I'm like, oh shit, is that our Denarian or is it a different one? And I start reaching for the side sliding door to see if I can get out, because I don't want to be trapped inside this tin can since we bounced right off of it. Do we take harm, Lowell?
I'm going to say, because you put that foretelling, I'm going to say that you had enough of a vision to keep you from
Seatbelt
taking
on.
harm. You're just in a very bad position here.
Yep.
So you're going to try and get out, and are you just trying to get out, or are you trying to get away then?
I'm not running away.
Okay.
I'm getting out just to get maneuvering space.
Okay. So I think that I'm not going to have you roll for that. What is the difficult way that you get out of this van? Do you have to pull the thing open? Do you have to get out through a window? Do you have to kick the back open?
Yeah, I think maybe I wind up kicking out one of the side windows, because the door's just like it's up against that utility pole and smashed in. And so I kick out a window on the other side and lever myself out and drop into the slush and snow.
And sploosh, what do you do, Iolo?
Anything that doesn't involve a dice roll. Is Wilhelm okay sitting next to me?
Wilhelm is probably pinned by the airbag.
Okay. I'm going to
doing that slow deflate right now.
I'm going to do the same as Nathanda, I think. Get out, kick out the window on my side, and clamber out. Because I'm hoping this is about Wilhelm and not about us, but I'm not entirely certain of that anymore.
So you can get out, and the Denarian Charybdis is walking towards, and you see him look at the van as he sees the two of you kind of come out, and he looks at the van. He says, "Wilhelm, you should stay there while I take care of some matters." And he turns back to where you're at, Iolo.
Well, now, I thought we'd had our conversation earlier.
See, you were keeping something.
In truth, I didn't know I was keeping something. So you can't blame a chap for that.
You're right.
And I tell you what, I will tell you everything I know.
This has been a long night. I think I'm just going to take it out of your head. And he begins walking towards you. What do you want to do? Do you want to try and talk it down? Do you want to try and escape?
No, I think that this is about creating an opportunity using mislead, distract, or trick.
Okay.
So I think, I don't know how you want to do this. What I had in mind was just to kind of reach out and scoop up some snow and use that to try to create an opportunity.
Yeah, you got that stuff, a number of fairy powers to do that with. So let's have you roll mislead, distract, or trick. And I believe that you've got some bennies on that.
Yes. So
plus you also have +1 ongoing.
Right. For dealing with disasters,
Yes.
How useful. So that's +3, as it turns out, then.
There's almost no chance that you could fail now.
Yeah, and thanks for saying that. I roll 4, +3 gets me to 7.
So you get to pick 2 from that list.
Squeaky draws time. Okay, 2 from the list. Let me think. I think that I want to avoid further entanglement and confuse them for some time. Yeah. So I'm hoping that would create an opportunity to leg it
So you
with
want to create an
Nathanda.
opportunity.
Yeah, to escape.
So create an opportunity and avoid further entanglement.
Yeah.
So that snow, what is it that you do to the snow to create this opportunity?
I think it's really just whip up a kind of, as though the wind has just blown a load of snow from a drift across the front of us, creating a kind of almost a kind of smoke screen, a snow screen behind which we can leg it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So Nathanda, what do you want to do? Do you want to leg it then?
Nathanda is going to. She wants to try to get a read on what the heck Charybdis wants, because she hasn't heard the conversation about the cauldron and thinks she's still trying to figure out and she's willing to risk whatever might happen.
Let's have you figure someone out, or are you going to try and go and read the surface thoughts of Charybdis?
Oh boy, I bet that's really bad. I'll do that.
Okay. So you kind of, as Charybdis is getting hit by this blizzard, you're going to go up and...
I'm just going to dash in and just kind of like touch, him on the side or outside of his leg.
Let's have you roll with spirit.
$13.
Look at that. You get to ask 3.
Let's see. Well, I think I need to know what Charybdis's hidden pain is, because hopefully we can use that against it. Need some leverage.
Charybdis's hidden pain is that he is like mid to bottom tier for the Denarians. There is a hierarchy amongst them. There are ones that are more powerful and influential. And he's back in Denver because he tried to, exert influence, and he got spanked.
Okay. And then what is Charybdis thinking about right now?
He's thinking about that he knows that YOLO may know more about where this cauldron is than he realizes, and that he needs to pull that out of YOLO's brain, much as he did to Rory.
Oh. And I'll go finally with, why is Charybdis keeping secrets?
Because he doesn't want people to quite realize how potent this object is. That it shouldn't be here in this world, and it's a real opportunity for him. Does that seem fair?
Yep.
Okay.
It definitely does.
Behind you, you'll see the van, and you will see that slightly injured, slightly feral twin kind of clearly feels the presence of Charybdis, and you see him turn to his twin, and then you'll see blood on the inside window of the van. I'm going to cut from you two. Dr. M.
Oh boy.
What are you up to?
I see kind of two core priorities for Dr. M, but I think one she doesn't have enough information on to follow up on. She wants to secure Miranda, but I think that's going to require another interaction with Yolo to find out where specifically she is.
Sure.
So I think for the time being, we have two priorities. One's self-surfing, the other is Denarian surfing. I have a contact within the mortal realm who knows a little bit about magical objects and also happen to be an advisor to Rory. Given our circumstances, I think that I could hit the streets to pay a visit to Wendell, but
I think
kind of not regular hours.
Yeah, you would just show up at his house if you wanted to, and interrogate him.
Yeah,
you want to do that?
I think I do.
And it's probably 11:30 at night on a blizzard night.
And that's where I've flown to.
Yeah. What are your wings? Are there wings, or is it just that you lifted up into the sky?
So I had, without consulting, established some fiction of Scylla being at least fly inspired in how she's incarnated. So rather than being a serpent, like traditional mythology. So I think that the way this manifests is riding on a bed of flies.
Absolutely. And so when you land, we probably see that swirl of this horrible black fly and big flies like horse flies, tornado kind of wash up over you and then, let you there.
And there's like a kind of a cacophony of sound that accompanies that, because we can all imagine the sound of one fly when you have thousands
that are actually little tiny trapped souls. Yeah, absolutely. So do you knock, ring the doorbell, kick your way in?
We know each other. We're work colleagues. Yeah, I ring the doorbell.
And
then ring it again. It's 11:30. He's probably gone to sleep. And ring it again.
And by in the midst of that third ring, the door comes open and you will see a bedraggled Wendell Windows there, and he sees you and he's Dr. Karen.
Hi, Wendell.
What? Something happened? Did your power go out? What's going on?
Something like that. May I come in?
Yeah. Who is it? It's someone from work, Maggie. Go back to bed. Let me get you a towel or something here. And,
thank you.
Do you want some tea or?
No, honestly, I don't have a lot of time, but I needed your help with something that I've been trying to track down, and I thought, who do I know who might have some insight into this? And just what came to mind is Dr. Windows. He'd know.
All right. Well, come into the kitchen, and as you walk into there, nice, appointed. He's got tenure. It's a nice place, and he'll pull a couple of kitchen towels out for you, and he hits the electric kettle for himself, and he's like, so what is it, and why is it so important you'd come out in such hellacious weather?
Well, yeah, it might not seem urgent. It's a funny thing. I was trying to recall from one of your books, one of the more recent ones, an object that you described that you'd found, and would I have gotten like insight on where this cauldron would have originally been from the Denarian?
Yeah, it's certainly a cauldron from the fairy realm, from the.
Where would it have potentially physically been?
Oh no, it shouldn't be here. It isn't supposed to be in the real world. So that's the question, is how it got here and so on.
Okay.
So anything that he would have known would have been like a referential legend rather than anything specific.
Okay. Any culture that it would have been?
Oh, it's Welsh.
Welsh.
I'm going to say it wrong. Ceridion. Cerrid.
Hard C, Ceridwen.
Ceridwen.
And I pronounce it wrong.
Yes. And he says it's pronounced.
So I've just been it's been preoccupying my mind. It's something, and it's a myth, clearly.
Yeah, and you can tell when you say the name, like he kind of stops, and there's that hesitation, and then he gets his sleepy time tea bag and drops it in the thing, and he's maybe certainly a little more on edge as you press forward with the questioning here.
And oh gosh, well, he's sounding a little afraid. So yeah, with a bit of a rhetorical sting to it, I say, now, you wouldn't have happened to have seen it, would you have?
An object like that of such power? No. I mean, my work is trinkets and baubles, wands and such, that kind of thing. That's a major artifact.
Well, a major artifact. Who do you think you would have, if you wanted to know more about it? Who are your resources? Who would you go to? And I'm trying to exchange debts, if that's a thing. Cashing in a debt to give you a debt they hold on someone else. Oh wait, yeah, that's an NPC option.
It says, there is a fixer of sorts named Lamb. And he may have been assisting some other people in these matters, in looking into these kinds of things, into what's happened. He owes me a favor. You can use my name to ask about that.
Thank you. And just so that we're clear and on the same page, I'd consider ourselves even. Don't worry about your secrets. And I kind of, my eyes kind of glance around his mantle place and anywhere else that he's stashed away any minor artifacts. They're safe with me. No one else needs to know.
Good. Absolutely. Well, good talk. Do we need to call you?
Your wife.
Yeah. Okay, and he tries to get you out of here ASAP.
Thank you for the tea.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. So I think let's resolve. I would normally come back to Norel, but I think I need to resolve the Eola and the Thanda situation before I can do that. So Eola, you create this opportunity, and rather than running, Nathanda uses it to go up and lay hands on the Denarian, which she swore to you that she was going to help you take him down. So she is fulfilling her end of that bargain.
Yes, but there's time and place, isn't there?
What are you
Okay.
going to do?
Well, I can't abandon her.
Okay.
So I think I will rugby tackle him.
Okay.
Seems culturally appropriate.
Yeah, let's you're unleashing an attack, it sounds like to me.
I know. And this is -1.
But plus
blood.
1 ongoing.
So we break even, goodness me. 5. I'd have used up all the advances in many other PBTA games, but no, I'm just botching things badly.
So you come running and you come tearing out of that snow, and he catches you and he whips you into the air. And then we hear as you come down on top of the van.
Ow.
Why don't you mark 2 harm?
Mm.
And you will see that for a second, Yolo is up, charging bravely, like gonna get him, and then whoop! And you'll see Wilhelm now getting out of the van with the aforementioned submachine gun, and looking to cause a problem. Nathanda, what do you do?
So Nathanda, she's got her hand there on the side of Charybdis, and you see this look of disgust and horror and like enlightenment. And she's just watched Yolo just get knocked ass over tea kettle. And she looks at him. Must hurt a lot being an also ran. And then I'm running.
So you are going to escape a situation.
Yep.
Okay.
Maybe.
Let's have you roll with blood with a +1 from your ongoing.
Should be a 9 because I think blood is 0 for Nathanda. Yep. That is a 9 for a mixed result.
Okay. So you get to choose 2 from escape a situation.
All right, let's see. So I want to owe someone a debt for my escape. I don't know, maybe that's Wilhelm.
Yeah, Wilhelm opens up. He's not even hearing you going. Wilhelm just opens up, trying to damage the physical form of the Denarian to slow him.
And I'll suffer a harm during the escape because this seems like just bullets are flying. I was in an accident.
And you said that thing to him about the Asaran, and I suspect that he backhands you into the side of the van from that.
That's fair. I had it coming.
And then you kind of spin and you can scramble and take off. You look up, you're facing up in the icy sky, Iolo, snow kind of falling on your face there, wind absolutely knocked out of you. You hear the sound of gunfire. What do you want to do?
Roll off the far side of the van and start crawling up an alley.
And are you escaping a situation as well?
That was the intent, but on track record to date.
Let's have
So-
you roll.
Roll plus blood, isn't it?
Plus blood, plus an additional +1.
So that's again a straight 0.
I
eight.
would also like.
8.
Oh, okay.
8. So choose 2. You're muted.
I'm prepared to roll Wilhelm a debt too, because shortly
Okay.
I don't think that'll matter.
Absolutely.
And I think I suffer more harm.
So that's
So I'm taking
another,
that point of harm.
another 2 harm.
Things are getting a bit iffy.
And Nathaniel, you would have taken 2 harm from that. Here's the thing. I would like to cut, if I may hard frame this, to the buzzer on Narel's abode ringing. Is it okay if I bring Iolo and Nathanda to that spot? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Are you good with that, Iolo? Okay. Then you two, bloodied, bedraggled. You have no idea what happened to Wilhelm or the other vampire, but you vanished into the blizzard, and we take up with you arriving at. And Narelle, you hear that buzzer.
Well, I'm not expecting anyone, but all right. Gabrielle's still there. We're having a cup of tea or something.
He's hanging out. Yeah, all good.
I'll do
This
the
place
top
is
button.
nice.
It's all right, darling. It's not too bad. I'll do the top button up again, and then go and answer the door.
Iolo, what is the physical manifestation of the damage that you've taken? What do they see? What does battle damage to Iolo look like?
I think he's broken his shoulder, and he's probably suffering some internal bleeding. So he looks very pale and near unto death.
And Nathanda, you didn't take nearly as much, but it's still hurt.
Yeah, Nathanda's eyes are tracking independently of each other, and she's got some blood coming out of her right ear and right nostril. It's had frozen and now it's starting to thaw out and run down again, and she just looks out of it. It's like,
That's what you,
hi.
that's what
Come
you
in,
see,
come in.
Narelle.
And Yolo will fall into the hall carpet.
Yeah, come in, and I'll grab the first aid kit.
Gabrielle will come over and you're a fellow Fae, so he will carefully pick you up and bring you over. He'll say, "Do you want to put down a towel or some plastic or something before I set him on your couch?"
Yeah, I'll just whack down some towels and then bandage them up as best I can. What happened? What's going on?
I think this is a conversation for Nathanda because I'm out of it.
And Nathanda's like, well, so Charybdis, we kind of ran into him, literally. He really can hit hard. Did you know that?
I've been told such about the Denarians, yes. So is he following you, do you think? Or you use the blizzard? Or?
Fucked if I know.
Okay.
All I know is, holy shit. He wants this like cauldron thing, and he doesn't really care about the coins other than playing with people.
Oh, okay. I'll glance at Gabriel and darling, do you know anything about this cauldron? And I keep watching him because I'm expecting him to lie because I'm not stupid.
Cauldron? Well, there are a lot of cauldrons. That's a pretty common magical thing. That's very, yeah. He
This
says,
isn't just any cauldron. Was it Caerdwin's?
"How? Really? Huh?
Can I figure him out?
Yes.
Because although he's, terrifyingly handsome, I'm not stupid. He's a fae.
Oh yeah, no, you are a wizard. You know how these things work.
All right, so 6 plus mind. I just see what my mind is. 1, so 7.
You get one hold, and they get a hold on you as well.
Now, sweet. What? So, what is Gabriel hoping to get from the cauldron or this situation? I guess
He is not here in Denver willingly. He was sent down, and he cannot leave this area. He cannot go back. The cauldron is his ticket back into the good graces of any court. He doesn't care.
Okay. All right.
Let me see here. I think let me see her question is going to put to you. See him notice that Dr. Karen isn't here. What is your character's beef with Dr. Karen?
She's a vampire. They're all parasites.
Is it just the vampire thing? There's nothing else to that?
Well,
I've done some pretty directly shitty things.
No, it's not personal. It's just she's a vampire, and she fought them so hard and so long during the war. That's like, yeah.
So racist.
Yeah, it's just he's clearly getting that sense. Like, how could I can use that later? I know there is a loose thread here that I can play with. So, what do you say to him, Narelle?
All right. So this cauldron is it Caredwin? This is, if I remember my mythology, it was like one of the Tuatha Den Danann's cauldrons. Thousands of years old. This would be very valuable. This is what this is about, is it?
Guess it would be now that you say that. We should try and find it.
Okay. If I do some magic, can you help me? Because weren't those Fae items?
So, all cards on the table.
Sorry. So he could join me in a ritual sort of thing.
He says, "Look, all cards on the table. I may have heard of this cauldron." And he goes over, and Iolo, he will lay hands on you with nature's caress.
If I was more conscious, I'd be offended.
Yeah, he does that. Kind of that gentle. He runs his hand along your face, kind of runs it down your chest, and will heal up that 2 harm. And he says, I heard about it, and I've been looking. It is well hidden. Magically, I've been unable to do any kind of tracking of it.
Wait, is it possible it's been transformed, or it hides itself, sort of thing? Is that the nature of it, or?
It could be. Here's the thing. It shouldn't be here. it was gone long ago. It was an idea, not a thing anymore.
By here, do you mean Denver, or you mean this reality?
I mean, here in this world, it was in a deep place, the edges of the never never, where things go when they're no longer existing, when they're just conceptual. But somebody managed to manifest it here.
Okay, so this is not like the Mayan calendar thing. There's no prophecy or anything. Someone did the wrong thing to stuff things up.
Did the wrong thing or did the right thing? I don't know.
Is Yellow awake now?
Yola, are you awake now?
No, just listening.
Okay.
Nathander, in your readings, have you ever come across any of this?
Nathanda looks up from her smartphone where she's trying to get the spelling right to look this thing up. And she's like, I have no idea. I just like saw it. Know that Charybdis really wants it because like it's his ticket. And, you know, he's basically been punished. And that's why he's here, is to get unpunished by having this artifact. Where would Rory even have gotten their hands on that?
He says Rory's the young woman, right?
Yeah, the one that Charybdis like brain sucked or whatever the hell that was we saw.
Well, as I understand it, Rory was your friend's patient.
Wait a minute. Dr. M has it?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there's a connection.
Oh, Dr. M might know. Pull out my phone or look at my phone again and text Dr. M. Hey, got some time to talk?
Dr. M, you've finished up with Wendell Windows. Do you think you can manifest the flight again, or was that kind of your ticket out of there right then?
Yeah, I think to manifest it again, I'm definitely gonna have to be marking corruption.
Yeah. So you'll get that text.
And yeah, I am gonna respond. Say, gosh, I'm trying to think of how dishonest I want to be. Because clearly I can't get over to where they are. Yeah, I text back, are you all right? We seem to have lost each other back there.
And I send a selfie of myself, and you know, my nose looks like it was almost broken and blood's like, no, not okay. Could use some help. Over at Norell's.
Hey, and I respond back, it's hell out there, and I'm a good distance from my car. How do you suggest I get there?
I send over a GIF from Disney's The Black Cauldron and go, you owe me. Get over here.
Okay.
So I'm trying to call in a debt.
Okay. So you are cashing in a debt. You want them to go there. That's a favor, I think, at a moderate cost. Does that seem right?
Yeah. So you have the option, Nathanda, and the issue is that you don't know that you could do this.
I think that she says she's calling in that debt.
Yeah. It's an invocation automatically.
Yeah, I literally said, you owe me.
And I think that while you won't teleport into her household, because it's a mage wizard house, there is that moment where the world shifts and then you're outside Norel's door.
Well, this is awkward.
And Scylla goes, there you go.
Thanks. And I've been summoned. I can't fight that. I can't wait out here for an hour. So teeth clenched, I knock.
Okay. Let's get Norel back. Norel? That's okay. Did you knock your door?
Another one. Okay. Open the door.
You see a not bedraggled, just slightly damp, Dr. Karen.
Oh, Christ, I thought it was going to be the Denarian. Come in, come in.
I step in. Thank you, Nathanda. We're even. Or you still owe me, but I don't owe you anything.
I just heard you say we're even. We can negotiate.
And actually, we're not. I still owe you another favor. Oh wait, no, sorry. That's not right. Wait, did you have any debts on me? Yeah, you did. Realize me.
Yeah, I've got 2 debts to you.
You had 2 debts to me.
1. Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't owe you anything. You didn't have anything to cash in.
Well, we'll
crap.
Yeah, I mean, I like me being here.
We'll hand wave
Yeah.
that.
My bad.
That's okay.
Oh, wait. Yeah, I did. You relied on
Yeah.
me for the fix, right?
No, other way around.
Oh, it's the other way around. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
both.
right. I forgot from first
Yeah.
session.
I mean,
My bad.
narratively, I like that I'm here. So, yeah, I don't want to interrupt that.
So, yeah, tell us, sit down, tell us what happened.
Well, I think that Charybdis had some other priorities. I managed to get out of there. He managed to get out of there.
Well, as you can see, where he went was in front of us.
Did I notice that? Gosh, I don't know if there's any way that I could have not noticed that Yola was still there when I was demanding the coin. I think that I know that Yola knows that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gabrielle, but has faded into the background, kind of standing there, that sort of just a piece of furniture at the edges.
So there's
Don't you want
this
Cup of tea
cauldron.
or something, Karen?
Well, I think that, and I look at Yola, like I know that it's going to come out either being accused of it or it's going to come out from me being honest because we're all friends. And I don't know that Gabrielle is here. Hey, I think I might have established a little bit of leverage.
With Charybdis?
Some. I may owe him a favor.
Because he let you live.
And the way that I see it, if we can leverage the power that we have, we can meet our needs. We just might need to follow through on some things, that's all. The Denarians they're very powerful.
We're still on the same page. We want them to bugger off out of town, though, yeah?
And I think they will. I think they will. Here's the thing. Cryptus doesn't want to be here. He wants to be able to leave. This is our home. Why don't we just facilitate that? Gosh, I'm going to get myself killed by all of you, aren't I?
Well, the
What
thing
does he
is,
want then?
He's after a magical object that I think he has reason to believe has manifested itself here in Denver. Oh,
What?
my knowledge of Welsh mythology is limited. Might not be as much for Yolo, our friend here, but what's the harm to Denver in helping facilitate him leaving?
I think that's precisely the question we should be asking ourselves. What is the harm to Denver? And also, just so you know, the Fae want that too. There's multiple forces at work that want that. It's definitely a bargaining chip if we can even figure out where your student, Rory, got their hands on it. What was Rory up to? Did you have Rory off on some errands or something?
Did she mention, fey creatures or magical items or anything?
Didn't come up specifically. Bad dreams, sure. We could check in with, her emergency contact.
Any recurring
See if
imagery or anything in those dreams, or something specifically like Stonehenge, something that stands out?
Probably that fire that was then uncontrolled in her later.
I convey that. I had definitely noticed a change in her. She had been a patient of mine for a decent period of time. I wouldn't have brought her to everybody else here if there wasn't something that was concerning me. But I wonder if, clearly there's some details of that I was missing. Perhaps we should make a call on Susan, her roommate. See if she had any more insight.
Perhaps in the morning we'll all get some rest. It's been a busy couple of days.
Iolo, you still keeping your eyes shut, or are you muted?
Absolutely. Until Nathander and I are on our own, this is because I certainly don't trust Dr. M. I'm very
Nor
concerned.
should you really right now?
Indeed. I'm very concerned that Narelle has involved the Winter Court in this, and I'm certainly not letting them get a handle on Caradwin's Cauldron.
Well, I want to give you an opportunity to make another roll.
How kind.
So maybe you roll to see what you know. I mean, beyond the base mythology, beyond what Gabrielle has filled in, what you know about the cauldron with investigated place of power.
No, that works for me. Which is, oh God, sorry, I'm on a small screen and having to flick back and forth. Roll with the faction that owns it. Well, I'm assuming that is wild, but I think I've deliberately avoided stacking up any wild, so I am currently +0, which is, where I'm starting on a lot of these. So here we go. 7, a straight 7. That's like a 10 for anyone else.
So one of the things you know is obviously the cauldron the sort of classic dark abilities is to bring forth powers and bring forth forces to summon things up. That's sort of the classic thing. And you think that perhaps what the Cauldron did to Rory was that sort of activation of latent powers, and you worry about that kind of getting passed around. But the other thing is that, as you mentioned, it is about transformation and rebirth, and essentially kind of purification and restoring people to kind of a default state.
Would that
So
default state
could
be
it-
human?
I beg your pardon?
Would that default state be human, or
It depends on what you were before.
Well, that explains why the Denarians are after it, isn't it? Because it seems to be that it's a way of driving out a Denarian, if
Yeah.
nothing else. And the Winter Court will want it just because the Winter Court wants stuff.
Yeah.
They're greedy. Okay. I suppose what Yolo will be doing as he's listening to all this is just trying to tease out. He had that flash of insight that he and his king, Gwyn, knew about this, and then Gwyn presumably sealed Yolo's memory, so he couldn't remember the detail of it. And I don't quite know how I unlock any of those specific memories. I suppose, could it be let it out?
Yeah, I think let it out is appropriate there.
Okay, well, at least this comes with +2.
Yeah, let's resolve that, and then I want to check in with the other characters.
or maybe it happened when Gabrielle touched him?
Oh,
Well, that's 7. So let it out on a 7. On a hit, choose 1 and mark corruption. Oh, great. How would you interpret take definite hold of something vulnerable or exposed?
those
Can I get
memories
a
have been
fix?
exposed.
Yeah, can I get a fix on where exactly what I did around the cauldron or did with it? Because I think we've hidden it from somebody. But
Well, here is what I will tell you. I think that is that your king, part of his duties is protecting those things from coming out. And so when it went missing and manifested, he was in trouble, and you were sent on to Denver to try and find this thing. But he also knew that there were people who would try and draw that information out from you. But he knew that you're a terrible troublemaker and that somehow you would stumble into it.
yeah, he's very insightful, is Gwyn ap Nudd.
And his concern is getting it back before one of the other courts can lay claim to it and hold that over him.
So it's not that we didn't hide it, we lost it.
Yes.
Okay.
Norel, you've got these people in your household. They've had these conversations. Do you want to let them stay here overnight, or what do you think?
No, I'm sort of saying, let's touch base mid-morning and go from there. We all need some rest. I'm not looking at Gabrielle while Dr. M is here, because I'm thinking, for whatever reason he's doing that, and I'm not going to give that away. All right. So I'll say, Karen, are you staying here? Or are you going back to your place, and we'll, touch base mid-morning, or?
Oh, it's hell outside. I'll stay here. Thank you.
No worries.
Thank you for the hospitality.
I'll go and get a bunch of blankets and pillows and stuff. Don't have a lot, but.
And Gabriel will probably have to, at that point, sort of expose himself because they aren't leaving, and he'll be like, I can help with that.
You're such a lifesaver. Thank you, sweetheart.
Have I met Gabriel before? I don't feel like I
don't think you have.
Hi. I'm Dr. Karen, and you are?
Gabriel.
Right. Pleased to meet your acquaintance.
And he says, well, Nathanda, perhaps you and Narelle sleep in her room, and we'll, I can sleep out here. Yola, we can crash on the sort of couches and floor out here.
Yeah, that's fine.
Notably, he doesn't say anything about where Dr. Karen should crash.
Oh, sure. I'll just hang upside down in the closet. Thanks. That's what we do, right? I go and just grab a couple of blankets and set myself up on the floor.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll bring you a couple of cushions.
And Gabriel definitely, sets himself up, on the floor, so he has a good line of sight on Yolo. And then tucks himself away. What about you, Nathanda? Are you exhausted, jazzed? What?
Well, I think in the back of her mind, Nathanda knows that you really shouldn't sleep when you've had a concussion. So she looks over at Narelle and is like, do you have any coffee? Because this tea just isn't working for me. And I'm speech is kind of slurred and sounds a bit off. Think I shouldn't sleep.
Yeah, I'll lead you over to a chair. Just sit down. I'll get you some. I've got some Earl Grey back here. No, that's tea, isn't it? Damn it. Yes, here we go.
It's like, oh my God, what is this? Nescafe? Oh,
That's all I've got, darling. Sorry.
it's not even single source. Oh, whatever. I start slurping it down. And I'm just going to sit there and I'm going to watch back and forth between Gabe and Yolo. Just the vibe that's going on there.
Yeah. And it is a rough night of unpleasant, lumpy floor or desperate Nescafe mainlining to keep yourselves up until the next morning.
Can I be clear? Yolo will sleep the night through.
Oh, yeah. When you guys get up in the morning, it's that bright white, beautiful, like a good foot of snow has fallen and it's stopped, and it's that pristine where the sun hits it and it's blinding to look at when you go outside. And everything is very still except for sort of the sounds of the plows running along the street there. And what do you do? Narelle, it's your house. So I'm going to start with you here.
Yeah, I'll carefully go outside and look around because I'm a bit paranoid about the Denarian now. I go, Uix, get some sunglasses. and just kind of wander around a bit first to make sure it's clear.
Crunching through the snow, kind of crispy cold out here. It looks like people are just starting to kind of wake up. A lot of things have been closed because of the blizzard. And otherwise, I mean, there's no tracks around your place. It looks crystal clear.
Yeah, it looks like the blizzard's died down. The coast is clear. Shall we meet up at the cafe mid-morning for breakfast or something? Yes, that's a hint.
Get out. Gabriel says, "Look, I will touch base with you a little bit later. I've got to go and run some errands. Okay."
I'll try and clasp his hand on the way out. Bye. Take care.
With a little crowded, maybe we'll have some time together later on.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Thank you.
And he will head out into the snow.
And Nathanda just like someone goes, "Really? You? Him? Really?" Oh, I think my Uber will be here. She steps outside too.
Yeah, I'll just he can't resist me.
Before we get thrown out, Yolo needs to use the toilet. And while he's there, he'd like to, now he knows what he's looking for, he wants to let it out and extend his supernatural senses to see if he can locate the cauldron.
You're letting it out in the toilet?
He is, in a long and steady stream of power.
Let's have you roll with spirit.
Oh, Jesus God. That's a whole 5. Gee whiz.
No pun intended. So go ahead and mark corruption.
Yeah, this is I'm sliding down the slope very quickly now.
And think here, what's the appropriate thing to have happen? I think that as you extend your senses, there is this moment where you realize that the cauldron is not as it was. And it has some kind of consciousness, some kind of will, and it recognizes you, recognizes that you're looking for it, and then it sort of vanishes from your senses. It's clearly been alerted to your search.
Okay. And is hiding itself. Yes. Okay.
At the front, I'll say to Nathanda, things are sort of escalating here. I'll try and look after you as I can, but just, take care, okay?
Yeah, you too. And I'm just going to say, be careful with Gabe.
I know what I'm doing, but thank you.
Okay.
And I think I'll leave with Nathanda if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll hold the Uber for you. And when we get it, I'm like, first stop, coffee shop.
Mechanically, did I recover a harm overnight?
So any grievous stuff requires actual medical attention or magical attention.
Fine.
You can recover the faint, though.
Thank you.
Same thing for you, Nathanda. Dr. Karen, you're the last guest left in Norell's household.
Yeah. Norell, do you want to have a scene? Like, is there anything that you want to address with me one-on-one? Because if you're not stopping me, I'm probably leaving.
No, I'll just say, we're still trying to get these pests out of the city and get, things back the way they were, yeah?
We are.
Yeah.
And I think things are going to be okay. They don't want to be here any more than we want them here. We just need to figure out how to help them along their way.
Yeah, I see. All right, we'll see what we can do. All right. Keep safe. And she'll give her a hug and say, yeah, sorry about everything. It's busy couple of days.
And you will head out. I think this is actually a great break point. It's a little early, but I think this is the point at which we can break. And when next time we can start with everybody kind of doing an individual, like what are they doing, and then we can bring everybody back together. Does that seem fair? Let's do the end of session stuff though. YOLO, do you want to shift any of your faction notes? Your numbers there. You are muted.
Yes, I think I do.
Okay.
I think I need to shift wild up because I think I'm going to need that.
Makes sense. What do you want to drop?
And I'm going to shift night down because I think those bridges are burned.
I think that is good. Norel, what about you? You're in a good position with wild right now.
Yeah. I can't really think to move any, no.
Dr. Karen?
Okay, well, I'm making some strong arrangements with Wild, so I want to shift that up.
Okay.
I'll toss this back to you, Lowell. Who does that strong relationship with Wild threaten the most?
Power.
Power.
The wizards.
Okay. So that'll be a -1.
And Nathanda.
So, which faction is Wilhelm Knight?
Knight.
There.
I think I am going to shift Knight up to a 0 and drop power down to 0.
Okay. That makes sense. Iola, do you think that there's any favors that you did at a cost that we didn't get in the course of play that we didn't note?
I've noted for my own purposes to check in, really. Both helping Wilhelm get out and then healing the twin. So I've got a (2) with Wilhelm and the twins.
And then you owed Wilhelm a debt for the thing, so I would go that to a 1.
Fine. Beyond that, I don't think so.
Norel?
I say most of my interaction was with Gabrielle. I did pretty much promise to look after Nathanda. Is that really a debt, though, or
Not necessarily one at a cost, so probably not. I think you're going to, Gabriel, essentially, you can reduce what you owe him by 1 because you kind of let him get information that he might otherwise have had.
Yeah. Okay.
Dr. Karen?
Okay. I think I have an arrangement with Charybdis, but I haven't delivered on my end of the bargain yet. So I think that I owe him.
Outside. That seems fair. And Nathanda?
I don't know that Nathanda really did anything for anyone, but thinking back to when she went and ran up to the Denarian, let's see. I know, because YOLO, did you then come back because of that?
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I did throw
and
myself
that
at him.
caused grievous harm to you.
That's
so
true.
I think I have a debt to you because maybe that bit of distraction was what let me lay hands on him.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Now we should also check. Let's check on some people. Don't forget, when you cash in a debt, the person that you cashed in a debt on gets to mark that particular faction, and you get to mark their factions. So don't forget about that as a move. Just so you make sure that you're getting all the marks that you would normally get.
So go ahead.
Not to drop a hint, Nathanda, but I marked your mortality earlier. Would you like me to mark power?
Sure.
What a gentlemanly woman you are.
Narelle,
it can only help.
You've got wild already marked. Was there anything else that you resolved?
No, a lot of sort of we're getting ready to do things.
Sure. And one of the things we'll do next time is, I assume you'll be, hitting the streets, putting face to a name, and that gives you an opportunity to finish fleshing that out, because you'll get one at the start of the session. So they'll probably get an advance for next time. Dr. Karen, was there anyone that we didn't get there?
Yeah, Nathanda invoked me to summon me, and I'm going to mark power for that, and Nathanda can mark.
Well, she gets to choose, yeah, power is the one you don't have marked, so yeah.
Which means Nathanda should be able to mark knight.
Yeah. Any other ones that you did that you didn't have marked there, Nathanda?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, you're all close enough that, with the start of session 1 next time, if you don't already have it, you should be able to angle the play to get yourself another advance and maybe some more corruption.
Well, I overflowed my corruption just now,
Excellent.
and I've taken the advance of a new Fey move, but I can't say I've thought about which corruption move to take yet.
Okay. So we will take up next time with the finale of this 4-shot. Now, keep in mind, it's not next week, but it's the week after. So we skip next Saturday, and then we're playing 2 Saturdays from now. And I'll have the video up. If, like me, sometimes you have to rewatch a little bit of the end to remember where you're at. So that will be up, okay? So I'm going to stop the broadcast then.